Hello, my name is David Penner, and this is my EDL 856 School Community Relations Module 16 case study titled Parental Apathy. Category 1, Problem Identification and Analysis. In order to identify the problem, we must first identify what we know about the situation. What we know is that Miss Rose is in her first year as a school administrator at John F. Kennedy Schools. She just finished up her education master's degree and is in her first 4 months on the job. In those first 4 months, she was able to identify that there's a problem with little to no parental involvement at the school. Parental groups were involved in the past, but are no longer. And the principal has said that he has put forth effort in the past to get parents involved, but has since encountered parental apathy. The principal believes that he has a good pulse of the community through his contact with them through parent calls and parent-teacher conferences. And after meeting with the principal, he changes his mind on parental involvement, but still does not want PTAs or PTOs to happen at his school. The principal then goes about scheduling a meeting with the parents by making an announcement on Friday at the end of school. The announcement is for a meeting for the following Monday at night. Only 8 parents show up, and the principal did not want to proceed with the meeting due to the poor turnout. What do we still need to know about the situation? We need to know about the past parental groups, the successes and challenges that they faced, and why there are no longer groups involved at the school. We would also like to know the demographic information of the community, whether our parents are working parents or whether they're stay-at-home parents. That'd be crucial as well. And then effective strategies for communicating with the parents at JFK. You can't tell me that having an announcement given to the children at a Friday at the end of school is the best way to communicate with the parents. And then we would also like to know other strategies that the other schools are using in order to communicate with their parents and get them involved in our district. Now for identifying the problem. The problem seems to be at JFK that there is a lack of parental involvement and community involvement in the school at which Ms. Rose works. This is due to several things. The first is a lack of communication or poor communication strategies with the parents, apathy from the principal and the parents towards each other, and then little to no involvement of the parents and large community in the schools. Category 2, Proposed Plan of Action with Appropriate Strategies of Implementation. My plan of action involves 3 steps. The first step is to form parental support groups with the parents that came to the meeting on that Monday night. Then conduct a survey of how we can increase other parents and their involvement in the school. Step 2 would then be to increase the communication with those parents. We can find better ways to interest the parents in serving the school, and then also better forms of communication in how we can relate to our parents. Step 3 would be to generate more ways to involve parents in the community in the school. We can gain interest from groups in the community, and then also be more of a community presence as a school. So step 1, this would be our forming of our parental support group. We do this by first proceeding with the meeting that was called for that Monday night, and then discuss with those parents that showed how we can generate more parental support for our school. We go about conducting a survey with those parents that were present at the meeting, and then also send home the survey via snail mail, email, and also social media in order to gain more interest for volunteering opportunities from other parental groups. We'd interest them in times, events, and then also in groups themselves, what groups they want to help volunteer with. And then we would determine the values that our parents have and their thoughts towards their role in providing support for our school. Both our principal and our assistant principal need to take an active role in this parental group, help each other by being prepared for meetings when they meet with the parental group, and then also engage in open lines of communication with those parents. Step 2 would be to increase the lines of communication and the communication strategies with our parents. So once we conducted our survey and the results are in, we would then find the best ways to communicate with the families that are involved at our schools, whether that's snail mail, email, all calls, or social media. And then we'd use a range of these options in order to communicate with our parents. What this will hopefully do is increase the groups that are involved, and by giving them multiple means of communication, we hopefully can reach a broader range of parents as well. When we communicate, we need to communicate more clearly as well. Do not rely on the students to relay the message, and then also timing is key. Friday at the end of the day is not the best time to communicate something important like a parent meeting. And then with our communication, we need to make it be open. We need to be able to collaborate with each other, whether that's the principal with the assistant principal or the principals with their parents at their schools. Step 3 would be to generate family and community involvement. We can gain involvement from our community members by hosting several events within the community. This would give our community members and families an opportunity to be at the school and be involved at the school as well. It could be a back to school meet your teacher night. It could be movies on the turf or game nights for families to come and be at the school. We could also gain community involvement by allowing groups to use your building when it's not being used for school. What this does is it will build trust with those groups and then also create buy-in as those members will be using the building as well. We could also find partnerships within the community in order to generate more interest in our schools. What this will help do is it will help identify the key stakeholders that are found in our community and use those stakeholders and their interests to help propel our school in a positive manner. Category 3, resolve the issues based on the success of all students. So what's best for our students? We know that parental involvement is going to be what's best for our school and for the students at our school. And our efforts in this area must be led by the principal and the assistant principal. We need to include staff and students in this role as well, as they should have a voice in how to better generate support for our school. And then we need to work towards a working relationship between the school and home. We can do that by doing those first 3 steps, forming a parental support group, increasing lines of communication, and then generating community involvement at our school. Once we have parents and community bought in, what this will allow, it will allow for more opportunities for our students. They will then be able to form mentorships, job shadowing, and even volunteer opportunities with our community members. And then we generate more support for our school through those relationships. Communities that take pride in their school usually generate students that take pride in their communities. So this forms a give back mentality between our students and the community. With this mentality, our students will become active and productive community members once they graduate. Category 4, debrief the problem by reflecting on what you were thinking, feeling, and valuing. Identify issues that are unresolved or still open for further investigation. My initial thoughts on this case study was that Miss Rose, in her short time at JFK, was able to find a problem with parental involvement. If it was that apparent to her in her first 4 months on the job, then it would also be apparent to those key stakeholders in the community as well. I also believe that the parental apathy is a result of the principal's apathy towards the parents. His disinterest in their involvement leads to them being disinterested in being involved in the school. The last thought I had was, does the efforts by the principal really reflect the importance of the issue? By him announcing it on a Friday at the end of school, it didn't really show how important the issue actually is to the students and their parents. My feelings that if I was in Miss Rose's shoes, I would be disappointed in my principal and his efforts in communicating with the parents. I'd also feel almost stuck in the middle of the situation where I know there's a problem, but I don't know how to fix it. And then also, I feel that the meeting should definitely not be canceled due to the poor turnout. We could use those 8 parents in a productive way in order to generate more parental involvement in our school. So what do I value in this situation? I value student success, and I know that parental involvement is key to those students and them succeeding in our school. I also value our position as a school in its position to serve the community. And then also I value that our students, as they graduate, are able to give back to the community and be active and involved members of the community. So unresolved issues. The principal's apathy towards the community and its involvement in the school is still an unresolved issue. As a principal, your role is to be a connector between the community and the school that you serve. Also, how can you build a positive relationship with the community? That would be one thing that the principal needs to focus on as well. What initially caused the divide between the community and the school? So in the past, we know there was parental groups. What has happened in order to no longer have those at the school? What do we need to do in order to repair the relationships? And then what do we need to know in order to not make the same mistakes? Last, what to do with Monday's meeting. The principal does not want to continue it. The assistant principal does. So we need to prove to those parents that are at the meeting, they show us that they're interested and want to be involved in our school. So we must also value their opinion in doing that. So what's open to further investigation? We need to investigate how we can generate more interest and opportunities for our families and the community to be involved at our school. We also need to investigate the correct communication avenues in which we can get the message relayed to the parents and the community members. What are the best methods? What is the best timing for those methods? And also we need to investigate the roles of the educators and the students in generating community involvement as well. Category 5, reflect on Standard 4. Component 1 of Standard 4 focuses on academic success. How do you as the educational leader promote the academic success of every student while addressing the issues found in this case study? First off, I would address that by involving both the students and the staff in the parental group as well. Giving them both a voice makes them active members in the group as well. Students would be able to generate ideas on how they can get parents involved at the school, and then the staff could identify areas in which support is needed. Actively seeking out partnerships with the community members will lead to more opportunities for our students within the community, and that would be with the mentorships, job shadowings, volunteer opportunities, and other forms of support as well. Component 2, how do you as the educational leader promote the personal well-being of every student while addressing the issues revealed in this case study? By conducting our survey, we would be looking for more ways to generate community involvement in the school, finding a wider range of parental involvement opportunities, and the best avenues in which to communicate with our parents as well. Student involvement in our parental support group would also give the students a voice where they could address areas of concern, opportunities for other support, and then also create ideas for involving or improving parental involvement in our school. Component 3, how did you as an educational leader promote communities of engagement for families and other stakeholders in the school's community while addressing the issues revealed in this case study? The first way to get community engagement would be to go ahead with our initial meeting on that Monday night, get those parents that are in attendance involved in an open discussion of how to get better community involvement in the school. Then by sending out our survey, we would be able to find more ways to get others involved as well. Their interests in the school, opportunities in which they would like to serve, and then also the best avenues for communication. Then by hosting community events and allowing for other groups to use the school, we would create buy-in from those community members and their families. Hopefully by doing all of this, we'd be able to generate community engagement and support in our school. And that is my thoughts on the case study of parental apathy for Module 16. Here are the sources that were used in the module. Thank you for listening.